another unboxing video. This one isn't a craft kit. It's the Nouveau and Craft Perfect Spring Collection for 2019 from Tonic Studios. And I just got sent all of mine in this gorgeous box, which is really cool. I opened it and I was like, oh, it's like Christmas again. You get like a proper present. And it's the Dream in Colour collection. Some gorgeous colours in this collection and really lovely products too. I've already used almost everything out of it to create some samples, so I'll be showing them as well. And this is coming out in January 2019, and you'll probably have seen like sneak peeks of it from the Creativation shows and everything that I'm sure loads of people will be filming on YouTube. So let's get into the unboxing of it all. So I think I said this, it's Nouveau and Craft Perfect, so this is mostly Nouveau in here, but I'll show you the Craft Perfect as well. So, ta-da! Been gorgeously wrapped like this. So, I'll keep the Craft Perfect for afterwards. So look at the gorgeousness that's in here. So last year they brought out colour trends, but when they had the products on Hochanda, they seem to bring them out more in the type of product rather than the colour collection. So for example, all of the Nouveau Drops launched at once, or all of the Aqua Flows launched at once and stuff like that. But I think this year they're going to, well, I presume they're going to do this for the rest of the year, considering this is the spring one. They seem to be bringing out all of the products in the colour range, which I really love, because I've just spent the last couple of days making a load of samples, and it's so great to be able to mix and match all of the products and know that they're all coming out at the same time, which is marvellous. So, all of these products have been out before. They're obviously just new colours of them. There's no actual new products within this box. So let's start off with the Mica Mist. So the Mica Mist launched last year, and there were 6 colours within the Mica Mist family. You had your gold and silver, and then you had 4 colours which were pink, green, purple and blue, and they were kind of more pastel-y tones. Some of them were quite, well, they looked vibrant in the bottle, but they were more pastel-y tones. And these do come out more pastel than they look in the bottle. And the 2 colours are Oriental Fuchsia and Pecan Peach. And they are really beautiful colours. I'll show you some samples once I've gone through all the products where I've used these as well. And while I'm talking about them, tips for using your mica mist so they don't get clogged is you can store them on the side so that all of the mica is on the side and not on the bottom. But the best tips are for like how to agitate the mica and also cleaning the nozzle as well. But actually, I don't know if you can actually see that. This lump here, that's actually the mica settled at the bottom, so you want to make sure that's all mixed into the bottle. But the best way to do it is to do it sideways, and just, I think you can kind of see it in there. It's a bit difficult to show you. You can see it in real life though, and you can hear the mixing ball inside there. But you want to kind of roll them sideways so that you try not to get any mica going straight up the uptake tube inside the spray bottle. And then to stop them from clogging, once you finish using them, take the whole thing out of the top of them. As you can see, mine looks quite clean, like there's no fluid of the mica spray inside it because I already washed it out and haven't used them since. So you want to take that whole thing out, put it in a little pot of water, and then just keep spraying in your sink until just clear water comes through, and then just flick off the rest of the water and put it back in the bottle, and then it'll be perfect for next time. So they're the 2 new Mica Mist colours. Then we have the 2 new Nouveau Moose, or Nouveau Embellishment Mousse colours. These are really lovely actually. I use them quite a bit. This one's Chai Latte and this one is Triple Berry. And obviously you can use them in the exact same ways as the original Embellishment Mousse colours. They do seem to be more creamy actually than the older ones. That might just be because mine are older because they've been sitting in a drawer, but they're really nice and creamy and juicy. And in the samples I've used them like with my finger on card, used them onto my glass mat, spraying them and creating a background with them, and also scraping them straight through a stencil as well. So all the usual techniques work perfectly with the two new colours. We also have Candy Kisses glitter accents. It's so annoying that my camera doesn't pick up pink because it looks really gorgeous, but actually inside the glitter it's actually pink and turquoise, so it goes perfectly with the collection of colours because you've got a few turquoise products in here as well. It's really, really gorgeous, this one. And the glitter accents, it's basically like the glimmer paste that Tonic do, but it's in a really easy to use bottle. So you can apply it thickly, scrape it through a stencil just like you would the glimmer paste, or you can actually make like Nouveau Drops out of it. They're more textured because of the bigger particles of glitter in this, but it still works. And you can also, I was using it, brayering it on as well. That looks really good too. And it's the same lid and nozzle as a Nouveau Drop. I think it is slightly wider opening though, just so that coarser glitter can get through it easily. So that is your glitter accents. You get a new shimmer powder. So the shimmer powders came out last year as well, same time as the mica mists, and there were 8 colours in that collection. You did get a purple in that collection. This is the original purple, which is Violet Brocade. This is the new purple, which is Lilac Waterfall, and you can see it's got a lot more pinky tones in it than this one was more blue and purple. This is more pink and purple, with obviously the hints of blue because blue and pink make purple, but it definitely comes out more of a pinky colour tone. It's a really gorgeous colour, and I'll show you those cards as well. Then we have 4 new Nouveau Drop colours, which obviously go perfectly with the collection. You have 4 different finishes as well. You've got, this one is Summer Sunrise, which is a glitter drop, and it's a really nice, really subtle peachy colour as well. Then this one, I have wanted this colour in a Nouveau Drop for ages. I keep making cards and I'm like, I just need a Nouveau Drop in this colour, and they've got one now, so it's brilliant. And this one is Calming Aqua, and this is just the normal gloss finish to them, which is my favourite finish of all of them. Then we have this one, which is Pink Orchid. It's a really nice pink colour. And this one is a metallic finish as well. You can actually kind of see that on camera. Really, really gorgeous. I've used that on a few of my cards. And this one, which is like one of the 2 things I haven't actually used yet out of all of this. This one is a jewel drop, and the colour is Honeysuckle. And the jewel drops are the ones that they're like the Morning Dew, the clear one, but they dry with a hint of colour in them as well. And I think this is more of a purpley pink than either of the previous 2 pinks that are in the Jewel Drop range. And I think pretty sure there was 8 colours that originally came out in Jewel Drops, so now we've got a 9th one to add to the collection. We've also got a new glitter marker in Sweet Apricot. Last year they brought out 6 new colours of the Nouveau glitter marker, and they came individually packaged. This one will come in individual packaging as well, but it's a gorgeous orange colour. I used it on one of my cards. I think you can see that. I think it's more of a muted kind of orange to the original orange that came out in them, but it's a really lovely colour. It's more of a peachy, or apricot from the name, Sweet Apricot. Okay, then we have 2 new embossing powders. These are both gorgeous. So this one is called Ocean Sparkle, and it's actually so one of the original Nouveau embossing powders was called Cool Aqua, and this is a very similar colour, but this one is sparkly. If you've had the Shimmering Pearl embossing powder from Nuvo, it's kind of like that, but it's obviously the turquoise colour. And I've got a little sample. so you can see it. That was a couple of layers. It gives a really nice texture as well because of the glitter in it. But that's a really, really gorgeous powder. And then this one is crushed mulberry, which is also really gorgeous. This one hasn't got the glitter in, but it kind of gives that metallic-y, pearlescent sort of a look. That's an example of that embossing powder. I really like that, it's like my favourite colour. So we've also got 4 new additions to the Nouveau Confetti Glitter Sequins kind of a range. The last lot of this to come out was the Jingle Bells and the Let It Snow. Those pots were actually smaller than these pots. These pots are the same size as when they released the Colour Trend versions from last year as well. They're the slightly larger 35mm pot. So if you have had any in the past, you know that they're that size. And you get rainbow quartz triangles, which are actually really gorgeous. They're like, look like shards of ice. They're really, really pretty. I've used them in a shaker card on an example and just scattered across a background too. Then we get a gorgeous new glitter, which is called Mermaid Parade and works perfectly with the new release from Tonic of a mermaid and seaside themed set of dies. So that's gorgeous. Then we have Silver Rain sequins, and the best thing about these sequins, I don't know if you can see, there's all different sizes inside them. So in the past, Nouveau sequins have all been a larger size or a smaller size of cup sequins, but these have got multiple sizes in. I think there's about 3 sizes in there, which is great for cards. I love using things in 3s. And these have got a gorgeous rainbow holographic finish to them, which goes perfectly with one of the new Craft Perfect cardstocks as well. Then this one was like my favourite. Look, I've used a third of the bottle already on my samples. This is the Sweet Peach circles, and these are smaller circles than we've previously seen. The candy pink circles were gorgeous and tiny. These are even smaller than them. So I really, really love these. I hope they bring out more colours in this tiny circle. I really, really love them. Okay, then we have a new set of alcohol markers. So last year they came out with multiple new sets of these markers. That's my little colour swatch. So there was 9 new sets, and now we've got another gorgeous purple collection to add in as well. You can see on here they're sort of a muted grey purple. I did a little colour swatch here so you can see, and if I get my original colour swatches, sorry for my messy all over the place colour swatches, I really need to redo them for my markers. This was the original set of purples, which was called the Royal Purples. Then in the newest release we had Parma Violets, which was kind of a bluey purple range, and now we have the new ones which are called Hazy Mauves, and the numbers carry on from, or go in between these 2 colours from the original set of purples, so you've got some more purples to blend in together and everything. And I really like that lilac grey as well. It does look a bit more purpley in real life, but it's a really nice neutral kind of a shadow colour as well. So that is the new Nouveau colours. Then finally from the box we've got Nouveau Aqua Flow. So again, there were multiple new sets of Nouveau Aqua Flows last year. I think there was 4 sets, and there was 1 set for each of the colour trends for 2018. And so this is the Dream in Colour collection, because obviously this release is the Dream in Colour. And these are the colours that we've got. We've got Just Peachy, Sweet Pea and Hawaiian Orchid. Again, really, really gorgeous colours, and I'll show you some backgrounds that I created using them. And Aqua Flows, they come with a little yellow band around their middle. I've got a whole video on Aqua Flows actually. They come with that in the middle, and then you take it out, screw the lid back on, shake them, squeeze them, and then the ink comes out. But there's a full video on my channel showing you how to activate new Aqua Flows and everything. Yeah, so that's all the stuff out of the box. So I'll put all this to one side and be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. So that was all of the new Nuvo stuff, and this is all of the new Craft Perfect, which goes perfectly with the Nuvo as well, and it's all in the Dreaming Colour collection for spring 2019. So this is a new addition to Craft Perfect. Last year they brought out a few 6x6 pads, I think there was 4 of them, with all of their cardstock cut into 6x6 squares, so you really got a taste of the different patterns and finishes of their cardstock, and it was great for crafters like me who make smaller cards. But now they have brought out a patterned paper pad to go along with this collection, so you get 24 sheets and there's 8 different designs and you get 6 of each design, but that's obviously you're going to get 6 of the design, but then it's going to have the other design on the other side, so you know you could use 3 of each design, if that made any sense. The weight of the paper is 160 GSM, so it's a really decent quality, and they're double-sided. So you've got this gorgeous purple pattern, which is like random little shapes, just like quadrilaterals all over it, random quadrilateral shapes, with a tone-on-tone stripe on the other side. I love striped paper. Then this one is a gorgeous turquoise wave, which I've used in some of my samples. And on the back you've got a sort of tone-on-tone hatched, large sort of hatched kind of a pattern. Then we've got the dot and dash tone-on-tone purple, and then this one which is little triangles all over, darker triangles on a lighter background, and then we've got a peachy colour, diagonal stripes which are like more hand-drawn, so they're a little bit wonky, which I really like. And on the back of it we've got these gorgeous circles which again are hand-drawn, so they're not all the same size, they sort of get bigger and smaller across the page, which is really gorgeous. So that's the paper packs. Then we've got all of the main Craft Perfect big packets of card as well. So firstly we've got their classic card, and this colour is apricot orange. Their usual 216 GSM, you get 10 sheets, it's got that, oh I shouldn't really, one sec. It's got that gorgeous linen weave on one side, and then on the other side it's just a smooth version of the same colour as well. Then this one is gorgeous, it's called Hollow Waves. It's beautiful, look at the rainbow that it reflects. Really, really gorgeous. And here's a piece out of the packet so you can see it too. Really, really gorgeous. I love this one. Proper holographic mirror card. Then we got one of their satin mirror cards, which is quite deceptive actually, because if you look at it from one angle it looks gold, but from another angle it looks green. Because it's called what's it, Smooth Mint, but it's a really gorgeous card. I really liked using this one, but from some angles it looks gold and some angles it looks green. I really like that. It's a gorgeous card. Then we've got a glitter card. This is the Berry Fizz. Really lovely. Really, really like this one. Obviously because it's purple. And that's the gorgeous sparkle. And it's one of those non-shed ones as well. Doesn't come off. And then we have pearlescent card. This one's called Barely Blush. It's a really nice subtle, slightly off-white colour. Really beautiful. It's a hint of a light grey or light pink colour. Gorgeous. Then we have Embossed Luxury card, and this one is called Lilac Waves. Really, really pretty. If you got the December Skies 6x6 Craft Perfect pad, it had a blue version of this in it. It's really gorgeous. And then we have the speciality handmade papers as well. You get 2 of them. And this is Caribbean Tide. I was going to call it Tribe then. Which is really gorgeous. Again, this has come out in a few different colours, but it's really beautiful. And then finally we have the Seashell Sand, and this is a gorgeous finish. We had a sheet of this in one of the craft kits, and I think it was actually called Mermaid's Tail because it was in a turquoisey, greeny, bluey colour, but it's really gorgeous. And you can colour this with your alcohol markers, as I'll show you in one of my samples as well. So these are all the samples that I was making with a new release of dies that's coming out same time as this Dreaming Colour collection too. So I will show you a few of the different bits and pieces that I have used. So here, might as well, while I've just spoken about that, that's that seashell sand paper. You can see I've coloured the background areas and the mermaid with my Nouveau alcohol markers, and I've also used some Nouveau Drops in there, which is one of the new colours. It's onto coloured orange, so it looks a darker orange than it actually is. There, that's how you can use one of those handmade papers. Then, what shall I show you next? I've pretty much used everything out of that box. The only things I didn't use were the jewel drops and the 3 sizes of sequins, because I didn't feel like silver went with any of the cards that I'd made, which was annoying. But anyway, so let's start with some of the backgrounds. So for this background on this card, I actually began by squeezing a little bit of this out. Well, there will be videos of all these cards as well, but I thought I'd just do like a quick explanation because I won't have voice on them. So I squeezed out a little bit of Summer Sunrise onto my glass cutting mat, picked up with a brayer and brayed it onto the background. You can see it in there really. Not much because I didn't want to waste it obviously, but just probably like 3 average drop size worth, and then just braid it on just to give a little bit of texture to the background. Then I went on top of that with some of the Pecan Peach mica mist, and I also squeezed on some of the Aqua Flow pen too, which was called Just Peachy. So that made a gorgeous colour scheme for this card. And then the Nouveau Embellishment Mousse, which is called Chai Latte, I then just used an older tonic stencil, scraped the chai latte through it, and then while the stencil was still on it, I sprinkled in some of those tiny little circle confetti into the wet mousse, and then they've dried in there and they're like stuck on there now, so that looks really great. And the fishes and the slight little border around the edge is that minty colour card. I think, was it called Smooth Mint? Yes, Smooth Mint. So that's that card that kind of looks gold in some light and green in other lights. And then obviously I finished off with a few of those Nouveau Drops as well, because they match perfectly because I use them on the card too. So that's that one. Then let's go with another background. So this was using the shimmer powder, which I'm just going to have my piece of paper here. The shimmer powder was the Lilac Waterfall, and then I used some of the Oriental Fuchsia mica mist over it as well, and obviously water too. Just to create a cool, messy, shimmer powdery background really. And then the drops on here aren't actually Nouveau Drops. This is what I was saying about the glitter accents having turquoise and purple in. This card is all turquoise and purple, and they work perfectly because they've got the turquoise and the purple in them. So that's how you can use the glitter accents just to create regular Nouveau Drops. It's just more textured than a normal Nouveau Drop. And then also I've used the, what's it called? Ocean Sparkle embossing powder. I did a double layer on the fish, and then I did a single layer for the little strip down the side, and that's a little bit of the pattern paper as well. For this card I used the new colours of purple Nouveau alcohol markers to colour in the mermaid's tail, and I also used the aqua shimmer over the top as well. Then for this card, this is why I only have 2/3 of my pot of the tiny little orange circles left. So for behind this, I thought it would look really cool to have it like encrusted with that gorgeous tiny confetti. So I used the outside and inside die that I'd used for the intricate frame, cut a solid one out, covered it in craft tacky glue, and then just dumped on a load of the confetti and let it dry. And it looks gorgeous. And that confetti looks really neon from far away as well. And then I've used the new rainbow card, and on the fish it looks really cool because it makes them like rainbow fish. And then this is just using some of that Chai Latte Nouveau Mousse on the corners, and then the new Nouveau Drops as well. Then this one is using that Ocean Sparkle embossing powder and the calming Aqua Nouveau crystal drops as well in the gloss finish. And this is the one of the new Craft Perfect handmade papers as well, and again in the background behind that one. Then for this one, it was another messy inky background, and like the previous one I showed you where I braided on a little bit of the sparkly Nouveau crystal drops, for this one I braided on a little bit of the glitter accents as well, and then I used, I squished out some drops of the two colours of Aqua Flows, which were the Sweet Pea and the Hawaiian Orchid. So I was just using my glass mat, I splodged out different areas of that, and then I took some of the Triple Berry embellishment mousse with my palette knife, put little bits of that within the Aqua Flows on my desk, sprayed it with water, and then literally squished the card that had the braided on glitter accents on top of it. You will see that in a video coming up, but there won't be talking on it, so that's why I thought I would explain it now. But that's how I did the background for this one, and the background for the sentiment was just picking up all the waste that was left over on my desk after doing that as well. So that's that new glitter card as well, which is really, really sparkly and pretty, and it die cuts perfectly too. And then this background was using Aqua Flows with the shimmer powders, and I literally just used the Aqua Flows sort of drawing diagonally across the card, and then spraying it with lots of water, and then sprinkling in some of the shimmer powder as well, just to give a really quick inky background. And the negative piece I cut out of this one is actually on this card as well, and then you can see that triangle confetti, what's it called? Rainbow quartz triangles. You can see them on there. I've just sprinkled them on and then lifted them up and added glue underneath them to stick them down. And for this one, I've actually used them in a shaker behind, but I did it with vellum, so it's a vellum shaker, so it's a bit less obvious, but just gives a little bit of movement to the card, which is nice. And then finally, this is the purple embossing powder, which was crushed mulberry, and I just did that one layer on top of that die cut sentiment, just using the Nuvo Clear Mark ink pad to act as an adhesive for the embossing powder. And this one is the new glitter, the Mermaid Parade glitter behind the die cut, and I also used the Nuvo Smooth Precision liquid glue and ran a bead of that around this element that I'd put on the back and added the glitter to that as well. And obviously you can see different areas of the new cards and everything from Craft Perfect. So I hope you enjoyed this unboxing of the Dream in Colour collection. Such a gorgeous collection of goodies, and really, really great to get all of your creative juices flowing. And I love that everything coordinates as well. It makes it so easy to create really good backgrounds that aren't going to get that muddy effect that some people get when they have mixed two colours together that they didn't realise were going to create a browny grey colour. So just sticking to the same colour palette for a background is brilliant, and especially when you've got different things to mix together as well, like the mousses and the Aqua Flows and the mica mists. Really, really great. Oh, and also one thing I forgot to show, I just saw it there, the sparkle marker, or the glitter marker. I used it to edge this card as well. So, but you can also use these to create your backgrounds too. I have a whole video on creating backgrounds with the glitter markers as well. I'm not sure if it's up yet, but it will be up at some point. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed getting to see all of these products up close and my ramblings about them and seeing some examples and everything. And I hope you check out the other videos that will be up, hopefully around the same time as I put this one up, showing you how I made all those samples as well. And there'll also be another video giving you an up-close look at that new set of dies with the mermaid seaside kind of feel that I used for those samples as well. So if you're interested in the die set, you can check that out as well. So thank you for watching. Bye!